Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Matthew Christopher Salazar. I was born in Orlando and raised in Altamont Springs, Florida. All my life I've been part of the Catholic Church, and particularly the St. Mary Magdalene Parish since I was baptized. From kindergarten to 8th grade, I went to Catholic school at my church. And at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School, I participated in sports such as basketball, track, soccer, and volleyball. To this day, I continue to play volleyball whenever I can, whether it is indoor or on beach courts. In the first grade, I joined Cub Scouts as a Tiger Scout, and I continued working up to the rank of Eagle Scout in Troop 38. My participation in scouting and sports helped me grow an appreciation for the outdoors. Some of my most memorable camping trips as a Boy Scout were going to North Carolina during the summer. We would go mountain biking and whitewater rafting in Tennessee on the Coe River. On my last scouting trip to North Carolina, we signed up to float a full river trip on the Coe River. This trip was special to me because it included most of my closest friends from Boy Scouts. By the way, this river was the site for the 1996 Atlanta Games Summer Olympics for the kayaking events. Before you get out on the river, the outfitters give a demonstration, a video, and talk about what to do on the river. And speaking as experts on the topic of floating, the outfitters mentioned that the businessman they admire the most was Noah from the Ark. And he kept his stock afloat while everybody else was being liquidated. After the demonstration of what to do on the trip, we picked out our helmet, life jacket, and paddle. Then we went on a ride on an old school bus through the mountain roads. And along the way, on the gravel mountain roads, at times I questioned whether the bus was going to stay on the road. When we got to the drop-off point, I helped carry the raft down to the river. And once the boat was placed in the water and we got in, it was important to jam our feet in the pockets in the boat or underneath the tubes that form the structure of the raft. When paddling on the raft, the proper technique is to sit on the edge of the raft without falling out, because only our feet are holding us into the raft. On this rafting trip, my fellow paddlers were Andrew, Chris, their dad, Mr. Bond, Mo, Paul, and Sean, and our guide. My rowing mates and I made it through all the rapids, including class 3s, 4s, and 5s. Wow. After the main rapids of this trip, rapids of this river trip, there is a section for floating where we're able to swim for a bit. At the end of the floating section, my raft was floating sideways, and we hit what must have been the smallest rapid in the river. This was the first time people had fallen out of the raft I was in of any of the several river trips I have done there. Um, we um, the two Bond boys, Andrew and Chris, fell out of the raft. We were able to get Chris back in the raft fairly quickly. However, Andrew fell out near the front of the boat and floated a little farther away. So when he had been pulled near the raft by another's paddle, I was able to grab Andrew's life jacket and rip him out of the water and back into the raft. Andrew remarks later that when I pulled him out of the raft as fast as I could, he mentioned I went Super Saiyan, which is a Dragon Ball cartoon term. He was shocked by the feeling of being ripped out of the water. At the end of this trip, we realized no matter what, you need to be prepared for what lies ahead and to not go into things sideways or unaware.